Welcome back to the Barrel Talk Podcast. This is episode 81. I'm joining Nick Gwynn back with some Marvel today. How we doing?
Fuck yeah. Doing good, man. How are you doing?
Doing all right. I'm just glad it feels like Marvel's back a little bit,
Fuck yeah.
especially after their past
We
two.
had two bangers in a row. I don't know if
We'll
they
get
can keep
into
that momentum going, but shit. That stuff's looking good right now.
yeah, it is looking good. But it has been a minute since we hopped on talking about some Marvel. Guardians, Volume 3, ending the trilogy. What are your initial thoughts? I know it's been a minute since the movie came out, but we both went and seen it together. What were your initial thoughts?
I thought it was honestly great movie. I saw a lot of people saying that it was one of the best movies since Endgame. I don't know if I can agree with that. I'm think I'm gonna give that to like No Way Home. I think I got No Way Home over that, but it was really good. The villain was great. I think we got a good close to every single person's like story, I guess. James Gunn, just another masterpiece, honestly. What did you think? Did you have any like really glaring issues with it at all?
Not really anything glaring. I was surprised that nobody did kind of bite the bullet. It looked like Rocket was going to, which is everybody's main pick. It was either Rocket or Drax going into the movie of who was going to die. Then it looked like Star-Lord for a second, but then ended up being nobody, and they kind of all like went their separate ways, breaking up the Guardians, and then like the new Guardians like Adam Warlock and Rocket and Nebula.
And yeah, and like Groot, and then that one of the girls that they rescued was in it as well.
And then
At the
Mantis
end.
does her own thing, and then Star-Lord goes back to Earth finally.
Yep.
And then this does say Star-Lord's going to return, but I kind of think that's misleading. I think if anything, it's a different cast for like Star-Lord rather than
I
it
think
being
so
Chris
too.
Pratt.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like he's kind of done everything in the role. And like throughout the comics, like Star-Lord does have his own kind of like his own adventures outside of just being with the Guardians and shit like that, which I see a Disney Plus show loading for that if they do decide to recast, or a Disney Plus show with like the new Guardians and shit.
Yeah.
You could definitely sell people on Adam Warlock, kind of what they've already done with the Guardians and the Christmas special and shit like that. So definitely Disney Plus shows loading, I feel like, but I don't think we're going to see another film with the Guardians, especially because James Gunn's running all of DC now.
Yeah. I don't think there's any way we see another Guardians film. I don't think we're going to see unless obviously Secret Wars, but besides Secret Wars, I don't think we're going to see like Gamora, Nebula, or maybe Nebula we could see, like Mantis. Mantis probably gone. Drax, we know he's not coming back. We know Batista said he's probably not getting that role anymore. But like I said, I think it was like, I'm just gonna, I guess, kind of go off of what you said with nobody dying. It is kind of like, this was, I feel like, the most loved group that we have. Like, I don't know, you have like a bunch of mini groups. I feel like this is some of the most loved characters that MCU has ever had.
Yeah.
And I think James Gunn did a good way of making I think it was okay because like Quantumania, we were all mad that nobody died, which I think that's more valid because you're showing off Kang, you're trying to set up this great big villain. But with Guardians, it's more of like a feel good, like family, I don't know, set of characters that I feel like James Gunn was able to send off in a good way. That was able to complete everybody's story without having to kill anybody off. And I think that was okay. I mean, it's whatever. I think you could have killed somebody, but like, unlike with Kang, we're not setting up for a high evolutionary to be this fucking big bad that he has to kill somebody. And we still saw how fucking brutal of a villain he was. So,
see, like, this is what the MCU I think has been missing in this newer phase. And I've always been one of the main people that says like people put so much pressure and praise kind of on MCU movies. Like, yes, they're superhero comic book movies and shit like that, but like people also forget when exiting like Endgame and that kind of phase with Thanos and shit and going into the new phase. Yes, you had to set everything all up like they were setting everything all up 10 years ago. What the whole first 4 or 5 phases. Like now they're to the point where they're building shit up again. So I kind of was giving him a longer leash in terms of like what I was watching. I was like, they're doing shit with Disney Plus shows. They had never really built shit up with that before. So I'm giving him more of like a greater leash in terms of movies like that. But God, it was just like the entire serious tone was really drained out of Marvel. And Chris Hemsworth even came out today and said that he felt like Thor: Love and Thunder got too silly,
Which it did. He is completely
which
right about
which it
that.
definitely did. But like Guardians felt like so like the stakes felt high because of how the
Guardians
movie
was,
starts.
yeah, you know that there's an imminent threat the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And it like this is it was the difference between Guardians and then Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor: Love and Thunder was not able to throw these jokes in without destroying that tension. I feel like Guardians, and even in Guardians 2, they kind of suffered from that a little bit. They tried to throw way too many jokes in there that kind of undermined the serious tone of it.
Mm-hmm.
In Guardians 3, I don't really think that's the case. I think they had enough. The only one that I think they could have done a little bit different was when they got to that when they got to Counter Earth and they were trying to work with that like bunny family or whatever, and they
Yeah.
kept undermining that the series like, hey, we're in this new world where we don't know anybody and we had this language
Mm-hmm.
barrier, but Drax keeps putting his fucking feet on the couch and we have to keep
I
running
thought,
that joke back, which is it was funny. I enjoyed it, but like
but like,
if
okay, like I get what you're saying, like, but like I feel like it's all in within the cast. Like you can tell, I feel like there was a glaring difference from when we watched Thor: Love and Thunder cast interact with each other, like in the
the
movie,
cam
like the
is
characters.
insanely
The
different.
chem with the Guardians is so wildly different with like the chem Mantis and Drax. Like honestly,
Yes.
like Guardians is one of the only Marvel movies that I actually genuinely think is funny. And it actually got me laughing a lot. But like
Mm-hmm.
it's the casting that's different. So I didn't really mind when they were kind of forcing jokes with the Guardians because that's who they are.
Like the carrot head, that was insanely funny.
Yes, like
We got to escape this terrible facility. Look to the right. There's just a guy with a carrot head.
like
That how do they do that without destroying the serious tone? I don't know. But Thor: Love and Thunder is just Thor and Jane Foster had no chem whatsoever.
no.
Like always, those two actors never did. And that's why we
Yeah.
hated them from the beginning. It's
And then
just
like it hurt because you definitely because going from Ragnarok to Love and Thunder, like even me going into Love and Thunder, I had very high hopes. I
and
didn't I
you still have like
it
these great
flopped.
characters too. You have Thor, you have Valkyrie that are still like they have good chem at least. I don't know.
The movie was definitely missing from Ragnarok, which is why I think it felt flat. Obviously, the villain because Christian Bale had a serious tone to it. They had just nerfed him.
The villain could have been fire.
Yes, he
The
had
villain
all
should have been fired. Like
yeah, he had
the
everything in the world to be
concept of
fired.
himself, the actor, like the scene at the end of the movie where it all goes gray and like when Thor and Valkyrie and Jane Foster get captured is an
Mm-hmm.
amazing scene. It's
Yeah.
just like that's the only thing he gets. It's just
Mm-hmm. And then like
terrible.
it just sucks because I feel like the movie's really missing just kind of dabbling into like kind of like why Thor: Love and Thunder was the way it was compared to Guardians because I feel like Guardians did everything right because of like the casting, but compared to Thor Ragnarok, which was a banger, you don't have Mark Ruffalo Hulk in this one, and you don't have Loki, two very important characters to that Ragnarok movie,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of I felt like brung the entire movie of Ragnarok to a different level and revitalizing the Thor character. Obviously, Chris Hemsworth did his thing, but just seeing the difference in like kind of like the casting of both movies is why I'm kind of like when funny shit hits is going on in Guardians, but the serious tone is still there. I understand it's whatever because that's who they are. But like in that Thor movie with the villain that they did have in that
Mm-hmm.
Thor movie, I felt like it was kind of different because it should have been all seriousness.
Yes.
He was killing gods and like
It's literally
even
killing the gods.
yes, like and then when Guardians needed to be serious, it got serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I feel like that's what they've been missing is like that darker tone. And like from the jump, Rocket gets injured and hurt and everything else. And the High Evolutionary is fucking super dark when you find out all the backstory and everything else. And like he did a phenomenal job and shit like that.
Yep.
Villain was fire. Fight scenes were fire. Probably the best fight scene I've seen in a very long time is that
You mean
hallway
in
fight
the
scene.
tunnel? Yeah.
Yeah. And then like the movie is actually funny. It's not forced. I don't really have that many dislikes other than like
They did
could
a
say
great
somebody
job
could have
of the
died.
Gamora. They did a great job with like redoing Gamora and everything, and not like forcing them to get back together and like
I
putting it in
I
an
like that
organic
take.
way with
I like
the
that take.
yeah with like the Ravagers and shit.
Mhm.
I thought they did a great job with like Gamora and bringing her back in without and that
Mhm.
little like moment where
Nebula,
in the elevator and with Nebula. Both of
yeah.
those. The one with Nebula and then the one in the elevator where he's just explaining everything from Endgame and Chris
Yeah.
Pratt's and James Gunn's kind of way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Yeah. Definitely going into this movie, a lot of pressure on Marvel because I know we were talking about it yesterday, like after we watched Spider-Verse, like as much as we want to say Ant-Man Quantumania was a good movie, it wasn't
It wasn't really
wholeheartedly.
that good of a movie.
So like I feel like Marvel is on a very downward stretch of their movies and TV shows because I feel like they still ain't been hitting on the TV shows outside of like the first 5 they released. They're probably gonna get back on that because Secret Invasion's coming, but Guardians had a lot of pressure. I feel like to be fire,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
I
I
feel
did.
like it kind of put them back to where they need to be. I know they're still trying to tell all these different stories and everything else, and like every time a new movie comes out, we're like talking about when we seen Doctor Strange or Tom Holland, like they got so much shit to tell, but like this
It's
is
just people want too much, bro.
yes,
They
they're
really
asking for
do.
too much.
Like, chill out. I think we're just now getting to the time where we're gonna get these a little more culmination and like the story coming together a little bit more with like
Hmm.
Loki season 2 coming out soon. Got the Marvels. You're gonna see that little relationship come together. We're gonna see where like Miss Marvel's gonna do because people are worried about that. You know, Captain
Yeah.
Rambo, what's gonna happen after WandaVision.
Hmm.
I think with the next few movies, I think we're gonna get what? Oh yeah, like Brave New World. Is that what it's called now? New World Order
Yeah.
got changed to Brave New
Hmm.
World. So we're gonna
Hmm.
get we're gonna get a lot of answers in that, and that's what next year.
Yeah.
So just people need to be patient. I understand that we had a lot like just like She Hulk and Miss Marvel come out. Like Miss Marvel was good. I ain't gonna let people hate on that. Miss Marvel was good, but I don't know.
I
I
get
think
the worrisome, but like I also get why. I think people need to relax a little bit. I think they're fine. Like people were calling for the end of like Marvel and shit. I'm like,
people are
bro, they're
like,
setting
let's
up.
end it. Just end the MCU. Like, shut the fuck up. They're not just gonna end the MCU.
Yeah,
That
like
just doesn't make sense.
they had a couple bad movies.
One, these movies make millions of dollars,
Yes.
and just like I get people are mad, like because it's very justified after Quantumania. I mean, you did just bring in Jonathan Majors, and then like it was still a shit show, and it's made less than Ant Man and the Wasp in theaters, which is kind of sad. But I don't know,
Guardians put them back where they need to be.
Guardian, yeah, and I guess I'm a little scared because like that's him. Is it just the James Gunn effect? Are we gonna get back to shit shows after this? Because Spider Verse is just in association with Marvel. It's not really a Marvel project. It's Sony.
Yeah.
So I'm a little scared. It's going to be interesting with the Marvels coming out, but I think Secret Invasion is going to be fire, and Loki season 2 is almost guaranteed to be fire.
They're on a good path right now.
They really, yeah, they are, and I think they're slow. They're slowing shit down, like people asked. We're not getting shit as often as we did two years ago last year.
Yeah.
So
I think like looking forward, the next big because I think with how Captain Marvel is portrayed and everything else and how the first movie went down and how it looks like the second one's gonna go down from just the trailers and what I'm seeing, I feel like if they hit on Secret Invasion, I'm not even Loki's gonna be absolutely fucking phenomenal. But like I think they could be fine if they hit a little bit of a dud on the Marvels and you set up some bigger shit with Captain Marvel, get her on her own shit because she's too powerful. Don't nerf her. Please God, don't nerf Captain Marvel because that would
no,
be terrible. But I feel like if they bang and really hit next year with the next Captain America and then Thunderbolts, I think they're going to be way
mm-hmm.
up after those two movies.
And the good thing is now I think we're past most of the origin stories.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
the most part, and I think that's big credit to the TV shows because like if you made a Miss Marvel movie, like no, like it wasn't that. Those are TV
that
show
was
kind
not
of
going to sell.
projects. Yeah, so like I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see what they do. But now Spider Verse, because this one of the best movies I've ever seen. honestly, wholeheartedly.
It was really fucking good. It was really, really good. Definitely gonna be up for movie of the year.
I feel bad for like soon as we got done watching, I told you I feel bad for any movie that has to follow this up in the next couple of weeks and months. Like the only other movie, just throwing it out there, like Flash kind of has the same kind of like tone with the multiverse and shit like
I
that.
think the Flash is gonna get hurt by this a little bit.
Yes, I do think so too. But going into like some of the good, because I didn't have anything bad. Only bad thing I have about the movie is it's a two-parter, and I was pissed when it ended because it said to be continued. So I was
Mhm.
genuinely just mad about that. But great things, just the different colors in the universe, kind of like separating
Every
each universe, I think was
everything.
really cool and interesting. It kind of
Which
gave every universe a different vibe.
the drawers, the animators, the editors, those guys seriously massive fucking props to all of them. Because like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way that they did like Gwen Stacy's universe was fucking. It's like the pastel work was amazing. And just the way, like, I don't know if you noticed, like the way it reacted to her and what she was
Yeah.
saying, everything. It was just crazy detail in every shot. Like the way they did Hobie Brown's character, the animation itself was the editing was just out of this world.
Mm-hmm. And the whole Gwen Stacy character development at the start of the movie before, like, I feel like that was like before the whole movie started, they explained that entire thing with her and her universe because you didn't really get to see much of that. You just knew about like her Peter Parker died in the first one, and you did that's
Mhm.
all really you heard about. But like he ends up turning into the lizard and shit like that, and her dad tries to arrest her and everything else. I thought she had crazy phenomenal character development because first one shown through Miles' lens, still is shown through Miles' lens in this one, but like it's more so I feel like through Gwen Stacy's point of view of what is all happening because she knew everything before it was told in the first place with
Yeah.
Miles and the character that he had. So
Mhm.
like I feel like it was interesting from her point of view, and it kind of gave the movie a whole different spin when they were bouncing around from universe to universe. But
It was cool. It was cool to see
yeah,
us moving around from like what was it, like Spider-Man India, like Mumbattan.
yeah.
Insane place, just crazy.
Even the
Um
first scene with the vulture, all the action
the
scenes,
Vulture,
phenomenal.
oh, it's amazing.
Even like who thinks of a Renaissance vulture? I think the whole design of that was fucking
A
fire.
Leonardo
Obviously,
da Vinci Vulture.
yeah,
What
obviously
the
you can
fuck?
do a whole different like bunch of different shit with animation and everything else compared to live action. Obviously, it's a lot harder to do in live action compared to animated, but that's the advantage animated has over live action movies. But just the all the action scenes of how they flew together and everything else like that was super interesting. And all of like honestly, like the designs of everybody was so fluid. I didn't think anybody that they didn't like, oh, we're just gonna throw this shit together and make it look cool. I feel like every design was like meaningful, like
There's
the
a reason
vulture.
behind it. There's a
Yeah,
detail behind it.
like even all the details with like whenever the vulture would like shoot arrows or something, it would show like the specs of everything else when while he was shooting and everything. I thought that was super
Mhm.
cool and like
Yep.
all of the different like senses, like when all the spiders had the spidey sense going on, it's all different colors. Like
Mhm.
it's insane.
Great
And
movie.
then honestly, so the next one, they're talking about it being 3 hours, but let me get into this might be the best like villain origin I've seen. Like the spot, like you go into the movie, you're like mid-tier villain. They called him villain of the week.
Got hit with a bagel, and that's
Got hit with a
what
bagel.
pissed him off.
Like, and then he don't know how to use his powers yet. And then like when he even just barely grasped his powers, I'm sorry, he was folding Miles. Like throughout when they were fighting, he was folding Miles, especially in Mubatan. He was
Yeah.
killing all the Spider-Man. Like he was wiping the floor with them. And then like just the whole backstory of everything else. And then like he like him in this next movie, what I really hope they don't do, because Spider-Man, we'll talk about when we get into like our revisited list. Do not fuck around and make the Spot an anti-hero. Do not. I will be that could that would
I
for
don't
me
think I
ruin
don't
a
think the
lot of
Spot's
what
an
they just did
anti-hero.
in this movie.
I don't think he is. I think he wants all the fucking smoke.
Oh, I hope so. I really do. I really do.
I don't think there's a world where they turn him into an anti-hero. Because then one of the reasons I think that is because I think Miguel O'Hara is going to be like the anti-hero of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think obviously people, I mean, I heard you say it when we watched after the movie, you called him an antagonist. I don't even
Yeah.
see him really as an antagonist. I see him as kind of like this anti-hero villain who's like, he's trying to just keep the world in place in his own way.
He's the Doctor Strange role
Of
of
spiders
like,
of the Spider
yes,
Verse.
because kind of like in No Way Home, like Doctor Strange was doing what needed to be done.
Yeah, I mean, like you
And
got to
like
do what you
he's
like.
been doing what he's needed to be done.
Yeah, and I think he's more going to be like the anti-hero or the anti-hero role because he's gonna. I think he's going to have a little bit of. I don't even know what the word is. Just his character's going to be better. His character development's going to go crazy. I think in
Yeah.
that third one,
And like the spot, like
he'll have a little bit of redemption. That's the word.
because he seems like, and just like soon as he got the upgrade with the powers and Muban and everything else, like the whole scene, soon as it happened, the visions Miles had of what's gonna happen to his dad in 2 days, and he doesn't even know like half the story about it yet until you like get 20 minutes later into the movie, and then like when they're doing the scene of like the entire like all you see all the different Spider-Mans going through what they're going through, and then you see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's universes. Like that scene is one of the best scenes I've ever seen in like a superhero movie. When the way they described everything that happened, and then all of a sudden Miles Morales isn't even supposed to be Spider-Man.
It's the
If
original anomaly.
yes, he is the original anomaly. Like if he never gets bitten by the spider, his Peter Parker never dies, and then that spider that bit him was always supposed to bite Miles Morales. It just was never him.
Yeah, it's supposed to be braided hair Miles in the classroom.
Yes. And it's so interesting to me how they described everything and like
and just the idea of that universe, Earth 42, like they just don't have a Spider-Man.
yeah, they
So
don't
like
have one.
it's just a shit show. And this
And
Miles Morales, instead of becoming Spider-Man, just falls to the life of crime because his dad dies. And jumps in with Uncle Aaron. And now he's the Prowler.
I got an interesting take on that, but we'll get back to it because I do want to talk about like the fight scene with all the spiders. Like I thought that like that scene when he's like running away from all the spiders and when they're on like the little I guess you'd call it like a
The train or the
the train or ship or something
speed
going into the
rail.
moon. Yeah. And then like Miguel's fucking whispering in his ear, "You're never supposed to be Spider-Man," and like he's fucking everything up, and then like all of a sudden, everybody that he fucked with in the first movie already knew, like they're already in the Spider Society, and he's not. Like,
Yep.
oh my god, I was like, wow, it be your own, it really be your own.
They really just lied to him.
That's when the movie took a huge jump for me. It was already good up to that point, but when that whole scene happened and like and the Spider Society and everything that came with it, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then I thought the movie was going to end as soon as he got out of there, but then there's another like 20 minutes of it.
Yep. I honestly had no idea when the movie was going to end. Like, I was like, well, I don't know what the fuck could happen because I knew, because it's a two-parter. I kind of knew there was going to be a cliffhanger. I didn't think they were going to not have a cliffhanger. So I was just sitting there like, what is it going to fucking be?
Yeah,
in no world did I expect him to just meet his alternate self as the Prowler.
In Earth 42, because when he reveals it to his mom, like that's when I picked up a lot of shit in the second watch because I watched it twice. That's when I picked up a lot of stuff. When Earth 42 is the spider's DNA, not Miles Morales' DNA. So that's why he went to that universe in general. While meanwhile, it looks like Gwen Stacy is in Peter Parker's universe, going to try to find Miles after Gwen Stacy went to Miles' OG universe and he's not there. And it looks like Miguel is in the same universe as Spider, like Miles
Yes, yeah,
Morales.
he's in Earth 42. Yeah, he's on 42.
It looks like he's in Earth 42. But it's interesting to see because like it kind of went over my head in the first one. I forgot the girl's name. I think it's Jess.
The motorcycle?
Yes.
Yeah, Jess.
So she was watching because I thought they were all Gwen Stacy and Miguel and all them that were after Miles were in the same universe, but they weren't. She was just watching a projection of it happen.
Yeah.
And then Miguel is in the same universe as Miles, and then
It's
like
so hard to keep
it's
up
all
with.
over the place. So like, here's my prediction on what happens. Because initial thought, I was like, wow, he's the Prowler. So with no Spider-Man in this universe, the Sinister Six run everything in this universe.
I don't know much
It's
about him, to
there's
be
I don't
honest.
know who
That's like
exactly
the
is on
6
it.
main Spider-Man villains, right? Is that what it's supposed to be?
It's a combination of
Just a bunch
many
of
different
random
yeah.
villains. Gotcha.
So in this universe, it's run by the Sinister Six, and you can see it throughout. Like when on the second watch, and I've watched breakdown videos about it already. Like the Sinister Six is
There's
running
a
shit.
bunch of small details
They're
in that
like
Earth.
Jay
It's on
Jonah is
the
talking about it.
TV. Yep.
Yes.
Bunch of shit.
So
There was a
like,
bunch of signs in the background that showed like
mhm.
yeah.
So they're running shit. So my initial thought, Miles Morales is like the Prowler in this one, so he's a villain automatically, right? But after like looking at it from a different angle, watching some videos, doing my due diligence afterwards, like I feel like Miles, like his dad got killed by the Sinister Six.
Probably, yeah.
Like his uncle did and the Spider-Man Miles Morales did. But it flips roles, and his way of fighting back is through the Prowler. The
So you're
Prowler
saying
is
he's not
actually
even a villain?
no, I think he's a good guy. Because if he was a member of the Sinister Six, why would they need to rely on um security guard times when they were like when Uncle Aaron thinks it's Miles that he's talking to, they were obviously going to do a job or something. Why would they need to time shit out there? He's a member of the Sinister Six, they run shit. So I think he's a good guy, and they're
You
fighting
think they're trying to
against
just like living there, like they're just trying to get by almost?
yes.
Like I mean, if you look at it, obviously it's just a destroyed New York City or
Yeah.
Brooklyn. Like
I think
they're
that's
literally
gonna
just trying to
be
survive, maybe.
yeah. And I think they're kind of wouldn't be surprised if there's like a little rebellion against the Sinister Six. And I think that's what is going to end up happening because initial thought, I thought he was going to have to fight himself. But it would make more sense for him to go and more character development for Miles to save this New York City and kind of rewrite the wrong.
Ooh,
because
it's kind of it's not his fault, but like it happened.
There's like, no Spider-Man because of him.
Because of him, yeah.
And I feel like he's gonna help himself save the city.
Ooh, I like
and that's
that.
Gonna be the character
like
development before they go back to his universe and stop the Spot.
All right, I have a whole completely different theory. This is something else. I do like that. I'm not saying that that's wrong, but something I was thinking about is because this Earth 42, Miles' dad is dead. I'm thinking because he told him that his dad is alive in his universe, and all these Spider-Men are coming after Miles now in this new universe. Let's just say something happens and this Miles Morales in Earth 42 gets one of those wristbands. Goes back to Miles Morales' Earth 1610 because that's the one that his dad is in. His dad's alive in. And then it's going to be a race against time because if you remember in Miguel O'Hara, that's what Miguel O'Hara did. He went to that other universe because his alternate version self died.
His daughter was alive, yeah.
His daughter was alive and he had died, so he went there, and that universe ends up getting destroyed because of that. So what if this Miles from Earth 42, who doesn't have his dad, travels to Earth 1610 after finessing one of these wristwatches off the Spider-Men that are coming to get Miles Morales, and he's stuck in Earth 1610. Something happens, he starts glitching, and then we're going to have to race against stopping the Spot as well as stopping the universe from getting destroyed from this Miles wanting to be here because his dad's here. And he wants that life of having his family and not having to be the Prowler and running around.
And even Hobie, like the scene. So I thought this was super interesting. I saw it on TikTok. Like I like that theory because even Hobie said like when he was like they were first going to see Miguel when they first get to the Spider Society, he was like stealing a bunch of shit. All the shit that he was stealing was to make the watch that he gave Gwen Stacy's dad to give to her.
Yeah.
That's all the stuff he was stealing.
Yeah, I did see that.
And then, so he was like, man, Miles, you probably got it all set because Miles hasn't had like the same story as all the Spider-Men. because he hasn't had death yet. He had his uncle, but it seems like he's getting another canon event.
He, for some reason, has to have his dad die and his uncle die.
Yes. So like, it's honestly, I like that theory too, because it would be super interesting. I like both theories.
Oh yeah, I like yours too. I didn't even think about that.
I don't think they're gonna like.
There's
I
no.
don't see,
Say no. You could goosebump.
I don't think he's like himself in that universe as a villain.
And yeah, and honestly, in my theory, I don't think he's much of a villain either. Like
I
I'm just
think
saying,
he's
like
just doing what he needs to do.
He's trying to survive, man.
Yeah.
And maybe he takes his braids out, goes back to Earth 1610, tries to finesse his way into becoming that Miles.
Yeah.
But
that'd be interesting.
And then this Miles comes back because he convinces the Spider people they have to come back and destroy the spot. Then,
yeah.
I don't know. Then I don't know what happens. Then everything fucking hits the fan.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that I did send you that got cut out of the movie that I thought was going to be absolutely fire. So it looked like the movie was supposed to have a post-credit scene with the Spot. So at the start of the movie, the Spot was supposed to like go into this bar or whatever. It was just like a cut scene with all the supervillains, right? All the Spider-Man supervillains saying that
probably would have been around this. It probably would have been around the same time that you went to that Venom universe.
Yeah.
While he's just fucking looking at the multiverse shit.
Mm-hmm. And then he was supposed to go into a bar with all the supervillains, right? And they were supposed to make a mockery of him, like he's not shit, right? So apparently, when he gets the upgrade and everything else, when he figures out how to use his powers, there's supposed to be a post-credit scene where he goes back to that same universe or bar or whatever, and he murks all the villains. I thought that could have been kept in, because when people like all the edits I've seen of the Spot, like, is fucking insane. Like, it's the bagel throw, and then it's like an edit of the Spot.
No, he's a sick character. I like that. I would have been okay with it being in there, but I'm also okay with it being out of there because it would kind of undermine his beef with Spider-Man, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because it's like right now it just feels like he just wants smoke with Miles Morales. He just wants Miles Morales dead. He can do all this multiverse shit, but no, he just wants to kill Miles. He just wants Miles Morales to suffer. So
yeah,
that would have undermined that a little bit, but I again would have been okay with it because it would have like shown how fucking strong he is. I mean, just going and beating up fucking Scorpion and Green Goblin, all these motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's but yeah, both theories I do like. I'm interested to see who they do have on the Sinister Six lineup.
But you also got to think we're gonna get in this third movie. We're guaranteed to get Tom Holland, probably.
Oh yeah,
we're guaranteed to get more of like Donald Glover, probably get some like live action, like we were talking about a little bit. I think there's definitely a possibility we just jump into live action at some point in this movie. In the third movie.
Oh,
like we just get a live action Miles Morales. I don't know how they would do it. I mean, like it would be a weird way, but I think they could definitely do that because I think it's very obvious we're going to get a live action Miles Morales.
Whenever the cast is talking about it, like hinting at live action, they think it would be like, oh, it'd be sick or whatever. Like they're not gonna say, oh, it'd be bad or whatever. I think it would be interesting. It would just be more dependent on like how they would, what do they do to jump from animated to live action? Like what is that process? Yeah, and I don't really know. Like the only thing off the top of my head I could think of is, all right, so you got the theory of like how like Miguel's universe all got destroyed because of like him being in that spot and everything else. What if that happens? What if like at the end Miles eventually stops the spot, but damage is already done and his universe
Earth 1610 does get destroyed.
Yeah, and it gets destroyed. Maybe that's when he jumps to a universe, or like Miguel, or like when Stacy finds a part where they could send him into that, and then all of a sudden it's live action. Boom!
I think we just cracked the code. I think you just cracked the code.
I think I just did something.
Beyond the Spider-Verse, his Spider-Verse gets fucking destroyed.
I think I'm onto something.
He just gets forced. He doesn't have a universe anymore. And he goes to Universe 616.
I think they're talking about the movie being 3 hours long. I'm here for it.
Oh, I don't give a fuck. I'll be in there for 4 hours. I don't care.
Yeah. Side note.
Give me an extended cut, 4 hours.
Soundtrack fire.
I'm still listening to it every day.
Like, it's one of the only movies in a very long time where I like walked
I
out.
can't think of
I
something
was
bad.
so satisfied with what I just watched.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
It's
there's
one of the
just so
only
many.
movies. It also, I don't even know, bro. Recently, I've just like seen good MCU movies, so it kind of just showed me that there are some really ass MCU movies.
Oh yes, just like comic book movies in general.
Yeah, comic book movies in general, but
Like this is like top tier. Like honestly, out of all the movies I've ever watched, one of the best I've ever seen. Woke up like left the theater absolutely satisfied. And like just the possibilities of what they have for the second one, and like the theory that I kind of just put together with like his universe ending up getting destroyed. I don't know how you stop the Spot. I mean, I don't. I mean, he absolutely like I don't know
he's a
how you
like
stop him.
multiverse level threat at this point,
Yeah,
dude. Like
because he
he's
can
a
go
fucking
wherever
monster.
he wants to do. Could be a situation where like he Miles beats him, but then it's a post credit Spot gets away or like something like that. Something
It's
crazy
just
like that.
I don't know. I feel like the Spot is such a, from what I know, the Spot in the comics is such a bitch made character. Like he does not get this kind of he does not get this level up in the comics. I don't think.
Oh no, not from
Um,
what I've seen.
so
But
I don't
like
know if he's
at
like
least they're giving him justice
oh for sure. But I don't know if he's a past the third movie
kind of
type
villain.
because I don't think there's another spot where you bring him in. I mean, past this movie, is there gonna? I don't think there's gonna be more animated. I mean, they'll probably find another way to animate some kind of movies, but in the MCU. But I don't
They've
know.
definitely raised the bar with this anime. Like animation in general, they
Is
raised the bar.
is yes, they can do so much. So I don't know if they have plans to do like another series animated,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I don't see them bringing the Spot into like live action shit. So
No,
I
I
don't
don't
see
think
a
you
world where he
can
survives
bring the
this.
Spot into live action. Yeah, I
It'd
think
be
it'd be
very
very
hard.
hard
It'd be
to
very
bring the
hard.
Spot live action. But kind of like wrapping up like this whole like Spider-Verse talk, like this has the possibility because Into the Spider-Verse banger already in its own right. This one tops the first one, which I didn't think could be done. Tops the first one, clears the first one.
It clears it. It's exactly what you just said. I did not go in there thinking that it was going to be better, and this one like literally just makes me not even think of the first one
Yes, and
because of
then
the second one was so good.
if they hit gold with this third one, which I think they will, yeah, they have given me no like anything that makes me think they won't. If they really hit hard with this next one, this could go down as one of the greatest trilogies of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
very excited. I think it's like it comes out in March next year. They have a counter down. It's like 297 now or 98 or something like that.
Yeah.
Days until it.
Yeah. I could suck off that movie all day. It's hella good. I have literally no bad things to say about it.
But this does make some changes on definitely my list with these past two movies. We can kind of revisit top 10 MCU movies.
These do both of them make my top 10.
Yes. So honorable mentions, kind of we both have a love for Age of Ultron.
For sure.
Underrated.
That's
I have Shang-Chi.
Okay.
And then I have the first Avengers. The honorable mention.
Okay.
Those are my three honorable mentions.
So I told you before the pod, I kind of did this in a weird way. I put this up on like a tier list and I kind of just rank them based on my enjoyment. And I did 1 through 10, but I also wrote down the next 5 as kind of like my honorable mention shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like at 15, I had Age of Ultron. At 14, I had Eternals. At 13,
See, like me,
we got that.
We got a solid spot for Eternals.
I did. I had Eternals lower, but I had to put it in like the top 15. And then like I got Wakanda Forever, the first Iron Man, and the first Avengers as well in my honorable mention.
See, like if I did 15, I'd have like Wakanda Forever in mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
But my top 10, I feel like is the just upper echelon.
Me too.
Like at 10, this is a movie I used to have in my top 5. Captain America Civil War. Great villain. Got mad love for Zemo over here. Introduced Spider-Man and Black Panther. The kind of internal breakage of the Avengers and shit like that.
Civil War is amazing. And like Zemo was one of my favorite villains because he was kind of like shows that you don't need like this big bad strong ass villain to like
with powers make a good movie. Shit like that. Yeah.
To make a good movie, Zemo was great, and I really love what they did with him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing villain, and then it just felt like an Avengers movie.
Yeah, it was Avengers 2.5.
Yeah, it really was. And you get Tom Holland's first look in the MCU. Really good movie. At 10, that's where I put Shang-Chi.
Okay.
The fighting style was insane. That's honestly one of the big reasons I put it in here. The character itself, Shang-Chi, was amazing. They also did a really good job, I think, at hashing up the 10 rings and the Mandarin from what it was in Iron Man. I think
because it was a joke in Iron Man.
It was a joke. Yeah, it was a joke. But they did a good job at kind of reworking that and bringing in this whole new world of Marvel where you have like the dragons and shit like that. And I don't remember what the place was called, like Talo or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
It was just really cool movie about in a whole new side of it. And I feel like a lot of people liked it, but it was in the middle of that phase 4 where there's a lot of bad things coming out. So I don't think it gets as much love as it deserves.
Because it came out in like September or something. And I know we all went and seen it. That whole summer, I was saying this shit's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. And it hit. It's on my honorable mentions just because I don't know, my top 10 solid. My top 10 so tough.
Yep.
Because at 9, this is where I got into the Spider-Verse. I wasn't gonna put it too high because I think this spot right here at 9 is good because of my 8 spot. But Spider-Verse soundtrack fire. I mean, you see the trilogy they're on right now. OG was fire, and now that with everything we know, and they already knew about Miles Morales while they were even there, especially the Peter Parker.
Oh, dude, the foreshadowing.
Yes, the foreshadowing is crazy.
Insane.
Like just a little thing that I figured out that I saw is when Miles and Peter at the start of the movie, when Peter gets the Spider-Man powers and they're at the collider before the OG Peter Parker dies from that universe, and they have the spider sense going off, but that spider sense Miles has is the color of the Prowler.
Because he was supposed to be the Prowler in this universe.
So it's interesting to see.
And then it switches to Spider-Man after a second.
Yeah.
So, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that's my 9.
I got love for Into the Spider-Verse. I did leave it off. I just wanted to kind of show love to other movies. I only put Across the Spider-Verse in here. I didn't want to put both in here, I guess. But mad love for that movie as well. At 9, probably a little low, but there's just a lot of good shit coming out, and there's just other things I'd rather see. I put 9, Thor Ragnarok.
Ooh.
I know. A little low. My favorite Thor movie. And I really don't have anything bad to say about it. It was a really good movie. The comedy hit perfectly like we need, like we said, better than Love and Thunder. Yet Hulk was great. Loki was amazing. Valkyrie you brought in was a great character.
It did lead into Infinity War.
It did lead right into Infinity War. It had a lot to do with that storyline, which kind of helped. But
the stakes were very high.
The stakes were very high. Obviously you get the destruction of fucking Asgard. So really, really good movie. Great characters. It's just there's just other movies I'd rather watch.
So yeah, 8. See, I feel like I have this movie lower than you had this, and I have Thor Ragnarok higher than you do. I got No Way Home at 8.
Yeah.
No Way Home. I will never experience something when Andrew Garfield jumped through that fucking portal in that house. Never feel something like that again in a movie theater. But main criticism I have with it, kind of what I talked about earlier with the Spot. Why does it feel like every Spider-Man villain turns anti-hero? In both universes, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland. Every Spider-Man villain... It really is
just the Spider-Man thing, I guess.
Yes, it's the Spider-Man thing. We're in every universe, the only one who wants all kinds of smoke is Green Goblin. Only one who wants all kinds of smoke. And William Dafoe, in my opinion, yes, you had kind of the fan service. People want to talk shit about the fan service. It was cool. Everybody had a moment when all 3 Spider-Man were in the same movie. But fan service, but William Dafoe, in my opinion, carried. Because when they turned all the villains they brought back into anti-heroes, it rubbed me so the wrong way. Because you have 3 Spider-Mans versus the Sinister Six. This is supposed to be a banger, and then they all turn into anti-heroes. You get Doc Ock stopping Electro when Electro was wiping all 3 of their asses. So, and then you have Green Goblin who wants all kinds of smoke. I feel like that's the only thing about this movie that rubbed me the wrong way is because of the anti-heroes. And that's kind of just the Spider-Man thing that I've seen.
Yeah,
But
I get
it
what
does
you're
bump it
saying,
down for that.
but like, I don't know. I feel like it would have just been weird if they like just didn't become anti-hero and they just had to like murk all these characters. It's because like these characters, you have to realize people did love those anti-heroes, and they kind of wanted to
Yeah.
do them a little bit of justice as well. I feel like
It's more so Doc Ock, I guess. Because
I don't even
Doc
know.
Ock
Even
was
most of them. Doc Ock was a kind of a joke in No Way Home.
yes.
But like, you gotta remember, it was just he was loved by everybody, bro.
Yeah, I know.
So I guess that's kind of the sentiment. I get what you're saying, though. I understand you want the villain to like, especially when there's fucking 6 of them. You would think
Yeah.
more than one of them actually wants the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
and especially
Yeah.
when they all figured out they were about to die, and like this was their chance.
yeah,
Like, I mean,
I get
that's
it.
the only part that rubbed me the wrong way.
I get it. At 8, that's where I put Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit higher
Yeah.
than you, but amazing movie.
So 7, man. Not gonna let recency bias take the best of me here. This is where I got Guardians 3 at 7. I think this is a nice little sweet spot for him, like we talked about earlier. Like, I could easily see somebody argue this top 5, like anything above top 5, in my opinion, just of how good the movie is, and like, hopefully we don't see another like, maybe like you said earlier, James Gunn effect. Hopefully now that he's gone, we don't get back to like Marvel movies being the way they are. It seems like this was a big hit for Marvel, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's other. I also actually have it at 7. Like you said, I don't. It's not even a problem, but like a small problem that I have with Guardians is it's not really that rewatchable because there's so much emotion with this movie going on. I feel like so I mean, there's so much like rough shit going on. Animal cruelty.
Yeah.
It's a hard movie. I feel like to rewatch, and
Mhm.
if I'm basing this off my enjoyment of the movie, I don't think I could see myself rewatching it that many times. But I do have to say, I mean, it's an amazing movie, great culmination of the whole series, and it's the best one, but not the most rewatchable one. I'd rather just rewatch Guardians 1, I think.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So at 6, I have Endgame. It's not outside
What?
of my top 5.
You have Endgame at 6?
It's outside of my top 5. Outside of my top 5. I
All
thought
right.
I love
Oh yeah,
a
you
long
have the
movie.
opinion that the first 2.5 hours are boring.
Not boring. I just felt like there could have been a lot of shit done differently. But I do think that the last hour and like 15 is peak Marvel, obviously.
Oh,
It's at
oh,
6, but
I just
I
disagree.
think
I just disagree with you, my friend. I don't know. Like, why though? Like, why is the first like hour bad to you? Like the first act and a half. Like,
I
what do you
wouldn't
think
even
they could have done differently?
I wouldn't even say it's bad. Like, it's still like 6. I just feel like, me personally, the movies I have above it are just better.
That's crazy. I just think that's crazy. Okay, respect. I don't I don't understand the hate with Endgame's first few hours because how do you expect them to react to half of life getting taken out? I mean, people criticize like Thor killing Thanos at the beginning of the movie. Thor was the reason that the universe didn't get saved. If he does it right, and he does what he's supposed to do, and just kills him, none of it happens.
Yeah.
So, and we all know Thor is emotional. That's going to happen. He boils over and he kills him. Think about it in the moment. Like, that's not, I feel like, unrealistic or just bad. I don't think that's bad writing.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
Endgame's bad at all. Like I said, it's 6. I just think the 5 I have above it
I
are just
respect.
better. I just
I don't know. I'm just taking it out. I guess I'm just taking it out on you. I don't understand people's beef with that.
I wouldn't say it's more like a beef, but like it's more of like
I just see so many people like, oh, I sleep
I
through the
don't
first hour and a half. Like,
I don't hate it, but there's some stuff in the top 5 movies that I just like better.
so at 6, I had what? 6. I had Black Panther at 6, the first one.
Okay, I got Black Panther at 5.
Okay, just amazing movie. Obviously, just the origin story of that character. Chadwick Boseman does an amazing job. One of the most underrated villains, I think, in the MCU.
I think still a top 5 villain.
Probably.
Motive wise.
Top 5. Yeah, my motive
I
was
think
for
motive
show.
wise and
For
story top
show.
5.
Michael B. Jordan did an amazing fucking job. It's just a great origin, one of the best origin stories we have.
The time it came out was very beneficial
The
to like
time
just
it
the
came
world in
out,
general.
the soundtrack, the fighting style,
Mhm.
everything about it. Just Wakanda. Just people love this
Getting
that
introduced to that and
culture. Just
everything else.
everything about it was just amazing.
I think this might be the most rewatchable Marvel
Origin
movie, at
story
least up
or
there.
Marvel movie. Okay,
Yes, at least rewatchable
it
wise.
probably it's probably up there.
Because so that was my 5.
Yeah, that was my 6. My five's No Way Home.
Okay,
That's where I put it. Amazing movie.
I
Amazing.
can't be mad wherever like when if
For
I
me,
have
it was that
No Way Home
viewership
anywhere else is
experience,
fine.
dude. Really was that viewership experience and seeing all those. I'm not even a huge Spider-Man guy. That's not even like one of my top Marvel characters. But seeing them all come together, the chem that they had really just off rip. People loved that. I mean, some of the lines that they had. You see these OG villains come back. Like you said, William Dafoe did an amazing job, like usual. Um, man,
Andrew Garfield did say like the first shot that they did wasn't even nothing like what to do with the movie. It was dead ass just the meme of all the Spider-Man pointing at each other.
you have to. You
That's
have
the
to.
first thing they did.
You have to. It was crazy. It's just an amazing movie, and it was probably the best movie since Endgame. I think, personally. Oh,
Yeah.
except for I guess you'll see. I'll say now I have Across the Spider Verse at 4, so I guess I take that one right above it. But
Okay. See, I have Thor Ragnarok at 4.
wow,
Big Ragnarok guy. Like
hmm.
when I see like the Thor character completely get revived in this movie, like and just all like this movie really like set the tone for the next 2 Avengers movies with the serious tone. And like it was like one of the only times where like you saw a villain other than Thanos like really like be super powerful and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And like the destruction of Asgard, like Thor has a very dark story, like with Loki dying at the towards and start of Infinity War due to the repercussions of all that shit, and Loki stealing the Tesseract. Like at the end of that, the whole movie was just a whole like revive for the character of Thor, while also developing Loki to be more of an anti-hero good guy.
Yep.
Also developing the Hulk, and then like I fucking love Hela as the villain, and then you also develop Valkyrie and like the whole. I think it's a huge. You could argue it's the best movie in that phase.
Is that Phase 3?
Yeah,
There's an Infinity War and Endgame in Phase 3.
if you could make an argument, like I got it above Endgame. Big Ragnarok guy though. Big.
You're a huge Ragnarok guy.
Big Ragnarok.
I'm a Ragnarok guy, but not
no,
that.
see, we're on different paths right now.
Oh,
we're gonna
sure.
link up. Oh, we're linking up soon. Oh my god, because at 4 you had
Across the Spider Verse.
okay
That just came out.
So 3, I have Winter Soldier.
Respect.
I think if you have Winter Soldier and just anybody in general, if you have Winter Soldier outside of Anywhere, bare minimum top 6. I'm disgusted.
Yeah. I
Like,
completely agree. You know my love for Winter Soldier.
this might be, I think it's the best Captain America movie. just like the fighting sequences alone, the only thing like in Marvel that tops it is maybe Shang-Chi. You could argue it. It's just complete combat wise. But like when they first introduced Winter Soldier, it was the coolest fucking thing. And then like the
I didn't get to
fighting,
watch that
the
movie
tone,
live.
like everything about the movie is fucking phenomenal. It's the best Captain America movie. And Captain America, like trilogy wise right now, fucking fire.
Yeah.
Like all the Captain America movies are good, but this Winter Soldier is, I think, no, I'm gonna keep it at 3. I'm gonna keep it at 3.
At 3, I have Avengers Endgame.
Okay. Okay.
I love that movie.
Like I said,
I love it.
I
I got
can't be
nothing bad
mad
to
at
say
it.
about it.
Can't be mad at it.
Yeah. Most
Got
important movie ever. We got best hour and a half of comic book
anything.
movie that probably, I don't know when they will top it, if they can, because that was just insane to watch.
At 2, recency bias does not have a hold of me. But at 2, I do have Across the Spider-Verse. I think it's by far the best Spider-Man movie. And I think this is going to be the best trilogy ever. But this movie right here, we just talked about it for like a whole 30 minutes. But like this movie, if you like, you had it at what? 4?
4.
See, like I said, like with Winter Soldier, anything outside of, and we're grouping this with like live action Marvel movies, mind you, but like anything outside of like 6, I think is crazy.
I think so too.
Because I think this is better than 95% of live action Marvel movies.
Yes. Yes, it is. I mean, I got 3 movies ahead of it, and they're big hitters. So
yeah, so that's my 2.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. We already talked about it. We don't have to talk about it much more, but it definitely deserves a spot up there in the upper echelon. At 2, I have Avengers Infinity War.
Okay.
Thanos' movie.
So you have Winter Soldier at 1.
I do have Winter Soldier at 1, yeah.
And I have Infinity War at 1.
Makes sense.
I think Infinity War is the perfect movie.
I'll talk about Winter Soldier. Give me a little second to talk about Winter Soldier, then you can kind of go into Infinity War a little bit. Winter Soldier I think it's easily my favorite MCU movie, and it's kind of like a gap before Infinity War. But you kind of touched on it a little bit. The fighting style is absolutely insane. Just the Hydra, that's the big villain that we get. It's just Hydra, crazy shit. We realized that the fucking was that little short fuck from the first Captain America movie, that he's still like not alive, but he's in the systems. He's in the computer. He's been holding America hostage for the past fucking 80 years. He's not even alive anymore. Mm-hmm. Getting Bucky back was absolutely crazy. That's also Bucky's a top 5 character for me in the MCU. So it was just crazy. The story, Nick Fury is amazing in it.
Just the whole sequence with Nick Fury in the car or the truck.
Oh my god, that shit was
fucking
insane.
Crazy.
Captain America in the elevator.
Yeah.
Him and Natasha Romanoff just like finding out that guy's still. God, I can't not think of his name, but that Hydra is a thing down there in the OG like bunker that they were in. Mm-hmm. It was just number 1 movie. I think people hate on it. That's my movie.
And then Infinity War. I think it's the perfect superhero comic book movie. I think people say it's Thanos' movie. That's completely fine because Thanos is a big enough character, like to where
I think he deserved his own kind of movie.
Yes, and like just because everybody knew the stakes were high. I've never sat in a movie theater so silent in my life than the ending of Infinity War, when everybody dusts away and then it just goes to the credits. Like the movie theater was absolutely silent, and just watching like the whole Titan fight sequence where Doctor Strange that was a huge thing. That was so fire.
I wish I could have seen that in theater, bro. Like that would have been insane. Fire. Just watching him win.
Yes, he wins. Like
it's just such a weird idea. Like obviously it's not that weird. Like it's not crazy to think about, but like it's just a movie where all of our favorite characters just get their fucking ass beaten.
Yeah. and it's like the whole fight sequence on Titan with Doctor Strange getting all the alternate realities and shit like that, and there's only one where they win, and Doctor Strange is playing the long game, and people didn't figure it out till Endgame, and he didn't want to tell Iron Man because he knew Iron Man ends up dying at the end of this. Like, oh my god! And then like the whole Wakanda fight scene in general was fucking fire.
Oh my god! We get the best Thor.
Yes, best Thor. The only
I might say we get the best Captain America. Beard Captain America? Beard Captain America is insane. Beard Captain America is fucking crazy.
Only problems I have with this movie. Only knocks. And this is number one. Only knocks. Felt like they could have did more with the Black Order. Felt like a little bit more could have been done there.
Fuck the Black Order.
Felt like they kind of let that I think they could have done more there.
You kind of made them bitch made once everybody got together.
Yes, I think they could have.
We're getting beat up by Hulk without Hulk, or beat up by Bruce Banner.
Yeah, could have done more there. And then, crazy. God, I think I'm not the only one. Vision was so bitch made.
Oh yeah,
so bitch made. I think that those are the only two knocks, and they're not really knocks because like
even at the beginning of the movie, he's bitch made.
Yeah, like
I get it. You got stabbed, man. Your Vision. Figure it out.
Oh my god,
he was bitch made the entire movie.
And then people were mad about Star-Lord, right? I was like, imagine losing.
That did piss me off.
But like, losing your shawty, it's a dude. Like
I get it.
I ain't gonna say he's valid. I ain't gonna say he's
not valid. No, I get it. But like, it's the whole universe, man. It's the whole universe.
God,
it's like,
nah.
Why does with that little scene in like obviously he can't get mad at it. That's obviously just how it's gonna get written. But like, and then Spider-Man, stop pulling off the thing and just stop him. Or Iron Man, someone stop Peter. We have two people pulling off the hand or off the gauntlet. Somebody stop and just punch Peter Quill in the face or something.
Nah, like, because like that's a very controversial scene, and it's funny because during Guardians 3, Chris Pratt references like himself fucking up everything at some point in the movie. I don't know when it's at. I know he references it, and like, God, just everybody was so mad about like Star-Lord. Star-Lord sold the universe, like,
which he did. Like,
he did. But
and I do remember in the moment that did piss me off so much. I was just like, what? Peter, no. But it had to happen.
Yeah, no, that's at one. That's at one. The Winter Soldier at one. Coming from you, I kind of expected Winter Soldier to be nowhere outside your top 3.
Yeah, no. But like that top 5, Infinity War, Endgame, Winter Soldier, Across the Spider-Verse, No Way Home.
Then mine is Infinity War, Across the Spider-Verse, Winter Soldier, Thor, Ragnarok, and Black Panther.
That's fine.
Yeah. But you want to wrap it up there?
Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning into the Barrel Talk podcast. Hope to see you tuned in future episodes.